Hi guys, it's about 8:45 right now here in New England. I'm Stephen Boyle. Well, there is a hazardous weather outlook for southern portions of Connecticut for a slight chance of a shower or thunderstorm. Here is the current radar imagery across the northeast. Right now there is some showers going on across northern New England. Those are not really doing much, and then we have this batch of pretty active weather going on across central Pennsylvania, particularly in through this region where there's a very hefty batch of thunderstorms. This will all continue working its way towards the east. However, by the time it reaches the Philadelphia region, it probably will be fairly dissipated. So by the time it reaches Connecticut, Long Island, and New York City, generally our southern regions of the my forecast area shouldn't really be affecting us, but we'll have to just watch out for that kind of briefly, but it doesn't look like that will pose too much of a threat. These may pose a slight threat as well. We'll have to watch those, but really this should all be dissipated probably by around I would say probably by about 12 or 1 o'clock tonight. Now that's what's going on when it comes in terms of the radar. Now, how about tomorrow? This is the chances of severe weather from the Severe Prediction Center in Norman, Oklahoma. And you can see we are, if you live in central and western Massachusetts, going through eastern portions of New York, central and eastern portions of New York, much of southern and central Vermont, and southwestern New Hampshire, there is a fairly good chance. Now, although you would say 5 or 15%, that's barely anything. Well, it's unless it's a really big outbreak, they don't do these often. But I can almost tell you it's a fairly high probability when you see 5 to 15%. A day in advance, that's pretty good, a fairly good chance that you're going to get some pretty nice thunderstorms in through our region. So be watching out for that. Now, let's talk a little bit about the day after, and yet again, it looks like some more thunderstorms will be forming. However, most of these looks like it'll stay to well to our west. However, may affect portions of Vermont and also western Massachusetts yet again. So that will be generally the region that I'll be watching very closely. But we'll continue to monitor everything. Severe weather-wise. Again. If we go to today, actually, let's go to the day 4 to 8 outlook, and predictability too low. You can see here, it's kind of difficult to predict severe thunderstorms well out in advance. However, I do want to show you something. This is for today, okay? And the reason why I'm doing this is because really what's going to be affecting us tomorrow is out in here. All right, and essentially the tornado threat will be fairly low with with this particular front that's going to be coming through, and the wind activity is generally fairly high with this, and hail is another one that's pretty significant. So I would say do not expect many tornadoes. However, there is some out there tonight in this portion of the country. I would say when all of this activity comes its way into New England, I would say the threat of tornadoes are fairly small. However, don't be surprised to see a very weak, isolated tornado here or there, but essentially they wouldn't be the ones that would do significant damage or anything. It may be more or less a fairly, some people may find, a little funnel cloud coming down or a very, very weak tornado kind of a little bit exciting, but or some may find it extremely scary depending upon who you talk to. But essentially what we can say is that if there are any tornadoes that pop up, they'll be very weak. They will not be ones that produce significant damage. All right, so that's what's going on across New England. So yet again, I will explain to you. This is the NAM model, and there is actually a hurricane. Now, the National Hurricane Center says, oh, no, the winds are only 70 miles an hour. However, I've been looking at some data from the airplanes that are flying into this thing, 80 miles an hour. It is a Category 1 hurricane, and I would expect it to become about a 90 mile an hour Category 1 hurricane probably by the time later tonight rolls around. So this thing will become a hurricane, and more or less, I think the National Hurricane Center will eventually have to do that. But we'll continue to watch out for that. But I don't think it poses a major threat for us here in New England. Now, thunderstorms tomorrow, shown by the NAM. Here we go. Those are those thunderstorms that are going to be popping up tomorrow around here. They'll be more prevalent out into the western portions of the state. I do think that these thunderstorms could last for quite some time tomorrow night. And also, I do think that they will be probably as strong as what we saw the first event that we saw. I think it was a couple weeks ago. Remember that we had that intense lightning storm? I see that being a very strong possibility. Kind of more normal. And then yet again on Tuesday, I see that actually to maybe even be a stronger chance, maybe even very strong thunderstorms. We'll have to see about that. So looking like a stormy week, really, but it's going to be humid and muggy as well. Now that was the NAM model. This is the Canadian model, and you can sort of see tomorrow there are those thunderstorms that pop up. Pretty nasty stuff here. Yet again on Tuesday afternoon. It says Wednesday, but if you look at the time, wherever it is, this is the time right in here. This is actually a little bit. This is late, or this is actually Tuesday afternoon, evening. That period. Nasty thunderstorms really are what's going to be popping up here, and these could potentially last quite long as well. So this could be lasting into the early Wednesday time frame as well. So we'll have to watch out for that. Those move out, and then we watch out for looks to me as if we could be watching out for a rainstorm coming in here later on in the week. Alright, this is those thunderstorms for tomorrow. You can sort of see those thunderstorms could yet again come back into the picture Tuesday and Wednesday. And then yet again we have a storm system out in the central portions of the country that should be working its way in here, bringing in some heavier rain. We'll have to watch out for that eventually. And then there could be yet again another pretty hefty rainstorm that comes through by the end of next week as well, or by the end of the following week, I mean. So we'll have to watch out for that. It looks like rain showers and cooler weather will be prevailing for much of the first half of June, at least what it's looking like right now. So May will end off fairly warm. June will begin off pretty, or will start off, I mean, pretty cool. So that's what it's looking like right now across New England. Hope you all have a great rest of your Sunday, and we'll be back tomorrow with another update. Take care, everyone.